Chapter 6. Summary. Detached work leads to enlightenment. Sri Krishna said, "The real sannyasin and yogin is the man who works with detachment in mind, not the one who puts on the symbols of renunciation and avoids works. Real sannyasa and real karma yoga are not so different as people think. Both have the common point that the mind should have the capacity to abandon all hankerings and attachments, hopes and expectations. The only difference is that to one who is in the early stages of the discipline, struggling to gain this non-attached condition, work in a literal sense is essential, because he would otherwise lapse into idleness and hypocrisy. Along with work, he should practice introspection and meditation also, for without that he cannot keep up the sense of detachment, dedication, and desirelessness while working. Work, or karma, becomes karma yoga only under this condition of supplementing work with meditation. But for one who has become established in this detachment, shama, or introspection, becomes the main means for further progress. The test of having reached this state is that there is no expectation of fruits and no sense of agency. One with such attainment can abandon actions without any fear of degeneration, but need not necessarily do so. While practicing the introspective discipline intensively, he can engage himself also in actions that are contributive to the welfare of the world. Whereas action is a must for the former, it is only a may for the latter. But the cultivation of a detached mind, free from hopes and expectations, is common and essential to both. Practice of meditation. The practice of meditation is as follows. The mind of one who has succeeded in it is compared to a steady flame undisturbed by winds. He becomes established in the experience that he is the spirit and not the body, and consequently he is steeped in the non-contactual, intellectually intuited bliss that is of the nature of the spirit. It is a state, on being established in which nothing else is felt as attractive or valuable, and one is not in the least distracted even by great worldly sorrows. An adept in it also attains to a new vision of the totality of existence, the experience of the divine as residing in all entities, and all entities as residing in the divine. The difficulty of inward concentration. Arjuna now raises two questions. As the mind is very unsteady, the work of making it steady is as difficult as stilling the air. How could this then be accomplished? Also, what is the fate of one who attempts this very difficult discipline and fails to achieve much success even by the end of his life? Is he to be a lost soul, his whole life's effort having ended in failure? To these doubts, Sri Krishna answers, though the mind is difficult to control, this can be done by steady practice and cultivation of dispassion for worldly enjoyments, coupled with strong aspiration for the higher life. If the latter is not present, practice alone will not be of much use. Failure in yoga is largely due to the absence of the latter quality. But there is no absolute failure in yoga. If a person dies before attaining to success in it, he carries the legacy of his present life into his next embodiment. He will be born under conditions that are very favorable to spiritual development. With the power of his earlier practice as his background, he will strive forward, life after life, until success is attained. Thus nothing is lost by one striving in the spiritual path. One practicing the discipline of concentration is immensely greater than one engaging himself entirely in scripture-ordained works or in intellectual studies of Vedanta. But the practice of concentration should be accompanied with intense faith and devotion to the Lord. Then yoga becomes the most potent spiritual discipline,